Monday. Welcome you to our Monday, June 23rd regular meeting. The time is 6 p.m. Madam Secretary for roll call.
Davis.
Here.
Laster.
Present.
Kamal.
Here.
Kennard. Rogers is present. McCarthy
Tardy.
and Piles.
Excused. Can we stand for the pledge? All right. Bless you. We're now at the acceptance of the agenda. Be it resolved that the Board of Education accepts the June 23rd, 2025 meeting agenda as presented.
Support.
It's been motioned by Laster, supported by Davis. Roll call.
Laster.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Kennard.
Yes.
Kamal.
Yes.
Rogers is yes. Motion is approved.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. We are now at the public comment portion of the agenda. Seeing none, moving forward. We are now at the portion of the agenda for the staff retirement recognition. In the building today, we have Gail Millspa, Linda Detloff, Janelle Edwards, Anthony Jalisco, Jenny Bell, and Geraldine Burcroft. Mr. Brock.
All right. Good evening, Board of Education, Madam President, Dr. Edmondson. There are two things in my position that I hold very near and dear, and the two things that I really hold near and dear are, one, when I get to hire new staff. It's an exciting time for the district, exciting time for the participant, and an exciting time for the employee. The other is sharing retirement for those folks who have served a district for whatever length of time. They're moving on to a new phase of I'll say their career, but their life. So I'm going to read from the bottom up. I'll say a little bit about each of the candidate. And there's a reason I'm reading from the bottom up, not for any particular reason other than the one at the top obviously has spent quite a great deal of time in our district. So I'd like to bring Miss Geraldine Burcroft up. She has served 25 years of service with our district as a paraprofessional. Grateful. Next up, Miss Jenny Bell. Miss Jenny Bell served most recently at our middle school and our Read 180. So Miss Jenny Bell, come on up. 25 plus years of service. Thank you. The person that is not joining us this evening is Anthony Jalisco, and I will apologize. His name is misspelled on the paperwork, so that's my fault, and I do apologize. A lot of respect for Mr. Jalisco. Has been in the district also for 25 years of service. He most recently served as our middle school PE teacher. So congratulations to Mr. Jalisco. Next is a recent addition to this list. I think taking many, many people by surprise, but she's going to be greatly missed. Great addition to our team this year. In terms of the interim position, she stepped in and did a great job in the absence of Dr. Gardner. I'd like to bring up Janelle Edwards, 25 plus years of service to our district. The next person has most recently served in the capacity of administrative assistant to our high school principal. Ms. Linda Detloff has 30 years of service, and I welcome her up to get her flowers. Congratulations. All right, last but not least, Ms. Millspa. Ms. Millspa has served 44 years of service for our district. I know she looks extremely young. I'm going to bring the plaque. we have something special also, not just flowers, but we have something else also for you. Want to thank all of you for your years of service. But 44 years in one district for this length of time is very special. So we appreciate everything you've done, the lives that you have touched in this district, the kids that you have just brought up in the district. So we appreciate everything that you've done for the district, and thank you very much.
You guys all hear me? I can talk without a mic, you know. I can really make it going wherever it goes. I started as a substitute teacher in Romulus. And in the 14 years as a substitute, I had 18 long-term assignments in every single building in the district, including the ones that are all closed or knocked down at this point in time. Then they made me an elementary phys ed teacher. Okay, at the ripe old age of 45, you're an elementary phys ed teacher. I figured I'd be that one for about a year. Well, 28 years later, then they decided, okay, now you are a middle school science teacher. And I have served the last 2 years teaching kids that I've had for 7 years. I've taught them for 7 years, and I'm now continued to teach them. Miss Bell was one of my students at one point in time. Again, to say that I have taught more students in Romulus than any other teacher, because of being a phys ed teacher, I had them all. And I had them from the time they were kindergartners on up, and I still work in the district as a volunteer and will still remain here in the district helping my Barth Bear over there as he's continuing to grow in the district. He's the third generation Barth Bear. Since his dad went to Barth and he went to Barth, and his grandfather was a Barth Bear. I could keep going, I know, but we know how hot it is, and I have enjoyed myself and am not going to disappear. I'm going to keep bugging you, being around. You know I'll be help there. I'll be that volunteer that goes on those field trips with people, big time.
Thank you.
So just so people grasp Gail's dedication to the district, when I first got here, Gail had said to me she was going to retire. And of course, at that stage of your career, you hear that a lot, especially in HR. You hear from people as you're walking the building, this is the year I'm going to retire. This is the year I'm going to retire. And what was great about Gail is she stopped me in the hallway, I think it was about a year and a half ago, and she said, I'm going to retire. She said, but I'm not going to retire until I know you have somebody that can replace me in terms of my position. So that just speaks to her dedication that I told her, I said, listen, I want you to do what's best for you and your family. So if that means you can retire, I'll find somebody. And she said, I am dedicated. I want to make sure that you have a replacement before I walk out the door. So Gail, thanks again for everything that you do or have done.
Around the same time, and I know we get to a certain place in our lives where we're like, had enough. It just happens. It just happens in waves. Sometimes you don't prepare for it. It could be a moment, it could be something that happens, something that triggers you. You just had enough. But I want to thank you so much because in my 3 years here, I can say this. There's been so much turmoil. There's just been a lot of things that have happened in the last 3 years, and I thank you for hanging in there. Really hanging in there. You could have left when the district was really falling apart, wasn't finding its way, but you stayed through it. That's really hard to do, and I want to thank you for that. For all the kids that you have impacted, particularly during that time, for all the staff and peers that you have impacted throughout those times. Just the 3 years that I'm not talking about the other 20, because we know that you've been through a whole lot, and education in our country has been through so much. But I just want to thank you. I was just writing a couple of things down. I just said, just for your countless contributions to to administrators and with them. Administrators, how many have you been through? I know. We could probably count them. We'd probably be here till tomorrow. Administrators, teachers, colleagues, students, parents, community members. I'm looking at Ms. Burkhoff here, and I'm going to say this. Your husband was so gracious to me. He's right there now. I can speak in the present tense. Thank you so much. When I first came here, you drove me around this community. Thank you. I have never forgotten that. I just thank you for your graciousness. Ms. Bell, I didn't get to know you as well as I got to know some others. I just pop through every school. I say what I need to say, and I keep moving. Janelle Edwards, I've been with you for 3 years. I've been watching the ups and downs. I've watched you take the leadership positions. Never complained. You just stepped up and got things done. I thank you so much. Yes, it was a surprise, but it was something you also talked about. But your impact, and I want to say your impact on the girls in particular, I'm there to see it. I've been there to see it. I haven't been there in the past to see it, but you've done so much in your heart for girls, particularly girls of color. We don't ever have to complain, we don't ever have to justify our love for kids and our love for black girls who need to see black girls that look like them or black women that look like them to hold them to a standard. So I thank you so much. I'm looking, there's somebody who is, yeah, one of the things I was thinking about is you have to be at all the events, because I see you at all the events. I'm like, man, she's here. The rest of you can learn a whole lot. The rest of us can learn a whole lot. Because your love for our school district and this community, it's not just the school district. The love that you have for this community, I don't want to say it's going to be missed because you're still going to be there. Yeah. But just to everybody, I mean, there's a lot of more, I guess, things that we could have done, there's ideas that I have. I don't know how people are going to receive them. Because I don't know, I can't empathize what it's like to retire or to even talk about it. I'm itching to talk about it a little bit. But just to get to that point, you have the key here, you can come in. Petty today, he's like, why are you getting her flowers? Her favorite steakhouse is. So we're going back and forth. I said, I started with Ruth Chris. I said, no, that's not it. I said, okay, Capitol Grill. No, that's not it. He's like, it's another one. I said, Texas Steak Brazil. He said, no, but it's Texas. And he goes, it's Texas Steakhouse. Roadhouse. He told me Texas Steakhouse. I don't know where it was. So he said I should have gotten that, but I'm sorry. We did what we thought we could do for all of you. And if there's anything that we can do for you, please. Okay, so just thank you. Lovely spouses and some of you that have them. Thank you. This is hard work when you're married to somebody in education. You already know. It's a hell of a ride. It is. So thank you for your support of your spouses and your loved ones.
You guys don't have to stick around. We won't judge you if you get up and leave and still enjoy some of the. But
Mayor,
bye.
it's good to see you. Thank you.
And I just wanna, Miss Utsi, formerly Miss Utsi, she knew me when I was a barf bear, so it's kind of, my lashes are on, but I really do wanna cry. Yeah, yes. So full circle moment. I just want to give you a hug really quick. So you want to keep going with the presentation?
No. Hold on. I didn't know Jenny. I didn't know Jenny.
You know where to find her?
Rock's Barbie coming back to school.
Well, it's definitely hard to follow retirement recognition, but we now have a presentation from Mrs. Julie Gutman from Special Services. Welcome.
Okay. Well, Thank you for having me. I got a chance to get around to introduce myself to some of you, but I am Julie Gutman. I am actually a retiree from Oakland County. I did 20 years as a special ed administrator. There we go. Thank you. So just a little bit about me. I'm very passionate at what I do. I might have retired from Oakland County, but I'm going to continue and hope I can spread some of my passion to get more people in this field because it is a great field. And I was very lucky because I must have brought that passion home because I have a daughter who is a special ed teacher at the elementary level working with students with autism. So it's just nice we get to talk about, her day and what she's doing. But I am very much enjoying being here, and I just wanted to share some of the highlights. One of the biggest highlights that I see every morning is this beautiful lady, Mary. She's like the sunshine of the department. I listen to her answering the phone calls. She is very, very positive, and this is one of the great things you need in a special education department, and you have the best. The other great highlight of my experience has been the staff. I have been able to meet with all of them, be in the buildings, meet the students. But I will tell you, the staff is doing a phenomenal job and have quite a bit of dedication. One of my favorite things about them is we did a lot of professional development together, and they want to learn. They want to do more. They want to do better. So I definitely feel that the staff is a huge highlight to this district. Some of the things happening around the district, I wasn't sure how much you knew about what was happening with some of the students with special needs. This was fifth grade field day. Your self-contained program at the elementary participated just like everyone else. And as you can see, they were having a great time. This is the LIFT program at the high school. They do a lot of things that prepare them for the future, but one of their favorite things, as you can see by the smiles, is cooking each week. This is Kim Perez. She resigned this year. She is phenomenal, but she is now a special ed teacher in Key West. So we can all see that, yes, we understand that resignation. Her husband did get a new job, so I can't even imagine doing that in Key West. But the reason why is it just highlights the staff that you have is before she left, she gave everybody an individualized certificate of achievement and told them some of the things that they're doing great. Your self-contained program at the middle school runs the school store. So if you're ever in need of getting snacks, you're at the middle school and you want to get a snack midday, they are running the register, taking inventory, counting the money, depositing money, and ordering supplies. So it's a great life skill for them. And they're meeting so many different students. Your elementary, middle school, and high school program went to Midway Sports and Entertainment Center. It was a unified field trip funded by your ISD where they took their class as well as students without IEPs. And a whole group of them went to this center and they were able to do all these different activities together. And one of the teachers actually made a comment that doing these things, it's so great for our students because they have made a lot of friends in the building, and it's great to see everybody calling each other by name and high-fiving. So this was a great experience for all. This is middle school awards. I know some of you were at the ceremony, but this was just showing how this is our social worker at the middle school and just showing how excited these students were and how involved this staff was. In fact, the 8th grade LRC teacher helped put on the 8th grade ceremony. Part of special education is the EL services that the district does. And we have Mark, who is our EL administrator, and he has really done a lot of job by improving the library in each school. So you have different, he has added bilingual collection at your middle school and elementaries. He's added over 70 books to the middle school and 90 books at each elementary. He has also convinced a teacher to get their EL certification because we are going to see an increase in hours, weekly minimum hours, in the next year. So a little thing that unfortunately we have in special ed, we don't just get to love and have passion for teaching our students. We do have compliance. We do have performance indicators at the state level. So we did have some things that we had to take care of in the district for compliance. You know, and it's just ensuring that we're meeting our IEPs. Our IEPs have to be done annually. They cannot be late. We also want to make sure that our caseloads are always updated. So I have been sending caseloads out monthly so we can just make sure they're accurate. Because if they're not accurate, then you risk having a late IEP. Initial evaluations and reevaluations, we do have timelines for those. So just making sure we're all on the same page for timelines. Because one of the hard things with special education, when you're bringing in new staff each year, you have to make sure that everybody's on the same page because it's really easy to miss. And it's school days, and it doesn't matter if you have a snow day. You still are going by that school day. Also, discipline procedures, we want to make sure that we are not suspending more students with IEPs than students without IEPs. So just making sure we have alternatives, but making sure also we're addressing our students that are being suspended often and coming up with plans because it is all about teaching, not about disciplining. Some of the areas of growth that I can see in the challenges is you just need to know that there are staff shortages in special education. Just for example, when my daughter started her program in special ed, she was in a cohort of 30. By the time she graduated, the cohort was 8. So we do have to be really active in our hiring and our recruitment. You are coming across districts that are doing signing bonuses. They are now doing, adding years that they have not had. They're doing a variety of things. So I just want to let you know that, but I mean, there are things you can do. You can be really working with universities and getting student teachers. Grow your own. We do have 2 paras that are, there is a Grow Your Own program in Michigan where paraeducators that are currently working with special needs students can get free classes to get their endorsement in special ed, and you do have 2 paras that are going through that program. Just the suspension, we kind of already talked about that. Professional development. It is hard because they're going through classes. I actually had firsthand knowledge because during COVID, my daughter had classes virtually, so I would listen. And I will tell you that she would get off the class and I would just say to her, okay, that's good information, but you're not going to use that. So it's just making sure that they have what they need when they start. Because if they don't feel like they have the information, they're going to leave because it's stressful. So just putting the time in to really give some professional development to these new teachers. They want to do well, so let's give them the tools. And there's so many ways to give them the tools that takes a lot of thinking out of it. Helps them know what to do. The more we give them, the more time they can be with students. We talked about this, the consistency and the improvements, just making sure we're consistent. Some of the things I've seen, since I've been here that I would recommend having goals for the next years. I'm really working hard on fully staffing your in the department. I'm almost there, and reducing some of the agency costs that you have. I also, onboarding has got to be number one. It's gonna take me and the principals. We need to make sure we are spending time with the special ed teachers, talking with them, meeting with them, brainstorming with them. If we do not, they are going to leave. They don't wanna feel, there's nothing worse than feeling like an island of your own in a building. Especially with your buildings, because you only have one program in the building. So they need somebody. Early childhood, the one thing I saw with the early childhood program building is they did not have their own social worker and speech therapist, so there was a lot of, the speech therapist will cover these two students, this one will cover these two. And it's a really missed thing if you don't have your own at that department or in that building. So what I'm doing is putting a social worker and a speech therapist, and one of their goals is to engage with parents, because the more they engage with parents, the more kids are gonna wanna come to Romulus. Right now, I've seen that there are families going other places. So why not build that relationship right from the get-go? Show them that if you need help, or you have questions, or you need a resource, Romulus has it. And then creating just professional development opportunities, and also communicating with the parent. I have not discovered that there's a parent email group, so starting that and monthly sending out information to the parents, because sometimes there's a quick tip, or they might want to know that the ISD has a ton of things that they can attend. So just making sure that they're aware. Just trying to engage them. The more they know, the more they can work with us as a team. That was it. Do you have any questions? I just want to, and something I just also want to tell you, our current count is 448. Your average is 18%. The state average is about 15%. Wayne County ISD average is 14%. So we're a little bit higher, but I think that will win Janelle and her department, or whoever she gives the reins to, works on that MTSS process, really collaborating with that person to really look at our pre-referrals and making sure the students we're evaluating truly have a disability. We need to make sure of that, because I always tell everyone, we could evaluate all of us in this room, and if I dig for it, I'm gonna find something. But that doesn't mean a disability. We have to look at the peers and the school to see who really is sticking out as an outlier, truly has a disability. So that's something we're working on as well. But thank you so much for your time. I truly have appreciated being here. I'm enjoying my time. And I even drive an hour.
One
But
way.
I
One
like
way.
it.
One way.
Luckily, Mr. Brock has told me when to leave and when to arrive, so it's been okay. But any questions or anything I can, but feel free to reach out to me, or if I didn't cover something you wanted me to cover.
Well, I appreciate you, first of all, because I get to see you every day. You're usually not even in your office. Okay. The scent is there, and then you leave. So I know that you've been there. I'm dead serious with that, but you're very busy. I see all of the outcomes. I enjoy engaging and talking to you because, I mean, I don't have a special ed background, but I do think that there's an overrepresentation in this district, and generally speaking, black students are overrepresented. I said there's a difference between poor teaching and a special ed student. Are we talking about a teacher that has a student that has not been taught for 2 straight years and then they're behind? That's not special ed. That has nothing to do with it. So I like having and engaging you in these conversations because that's real conversation. We have to have that. We have to be honest with one another about what is really going on here. And that, me saying that doesn't mean that I'm saying that it's poor teaching, but that's never, ever addressed. We don't talk about, oh, could it be a poor teacher that the student has had for 3 years and doesn't have anybody to advocate? So I like that we can have those conversations. I appreciate your expertise. You know, you bring 20 years from Lake Orion. I assume it was all, I think
Yes,
you said
it
it was
was.
all Lake Orion, but that you come in, and so you come in with a new set of eyes, that you can come in and you come in with ideas and suggestions and the experience to say, no, maybe we should look at this. I love the fact that you are absolutely holding people accountable, and I thank you. I truly thank you for that, because people need to hold, I said it last week, people love accountability until you do it, and they have a real problem with it. So I just thank you for being a breath of fresh air. You know, I asked you, I said, well, how long are you going to stay? And I know what you said to me, and I can certainly live with that, okay? If you get us in the right direction, and then we can prepare for bringing someone in full-time with your support on that one and your expertise on what to look
100%.
for, so that we can continue to move our district forward and start asking the tough questions and holding people accountable too. So thank you for everything that you do. And Kevin Brock, thank you for recommending her through someone else, maybe? Still, that counts. Yes, that counts. Yes, it's the reason he left Lake Orion.
Any other questions from the board? 2 things. I just wanted to say, heard nothing but great things about you. So your reputation has preceded yourself because the staff really enjoys you. Like, I've heard things about the Special Services Department before you got here, and now it's like, we're in good hands. We're good. Like, you have been like a savior. So no, like, shade to anybody, but like, they feel like they have a voice, I feel like. So, and just from your presentation, you can tell you're in the day-to-day setting that foundation so we can get on the right path. I do have a question. I know you touched on discipline. I just wanted to, if you could just expand on if there have been any changes made to the discipline procedure for special education students.
So what I have done is I have spent a professional development afternoon with all of the special education staff as well as the administrators. I have also set up that now, because there were some things that were, sometimes the special ed teachers were not aware that the students were suspended. There was also some glitches in recording and what was showing up to the state. So working with Scott Rourke, I think we've worked out where we've now automatic emails go to the special ed caseload teacher when one of their caseload students is suspended. Making sure that everybody has a flow chart and exactly I get notification so I can stay on top of it. I've sat for anybody, since April, if a student went beyond 10 days, I personally sat with that IEP team and we went through, okay, what's the paperwork? What have we done? So we're getting there.
Well, so I'm going to add to that as a former principal, and obviously my current role. Even when I suspend, the first thing that I don't ask is it a special ed student? Okay, the first thing is I address the behavior. The behavior has to be addressed. There's a code of conduct that we can deal with. Then I look to see if it's a special ed student, because that's important. It doesn't mean that you change what you're going to do. It just means that you now are on the clock. You're on the clock. You have a certain amount of time before you have to look at the disability and say, is it a manifestation of his disability? Lots of times people say, oh, no, it has nothing to do with it. He's just really impulsive.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now. So it's at a certain number, you have to then get the team together and you all have to look at it and say, okay, now, so we looked at some things, and I'm going to add to that what we didn't see. I'm at the middle school, and I saw a couple of students have done absolutely nothing the entire year, nothing. And I'm like, oh no, there's no way you're going forward. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Then I look, make sure if you're special ed. Then I went to Julie and Ms. Gutman, and I said, hey, listen, we have students here that have failed everything. Like, that should be a conversation that the case manager should know that. Why does the superintendent know it? Because I check to see, how are our kids doing? Who's failed this amount of classes? So I had the conversation, and then she and I looked, because I don't believe that you fail a student who has an IEP and keep them for another year. Well, what's the purpose of the IEP? I'm confused. So we have these kind of conversations, and I like that I can have these conversations with her because I know it. And to me, it's like 101. When somebody gets suspended and it's a special ed student, I need to let the case manager know, hey, listen, Darcel Davis, he's got some issues, and we really need to address them. And then we have the conversation, and then you bring a team when you have to. But by law, there's some things that we have to do. And that's what I think we got tripped up on, because everybody's not doing. There's a communication piece that you have to have with the families, and you give the student due process that the student and the family can. Just saying. Thank you.
Yes. But I do have to say, just to give my 2 cents, is that you have low readers in this district. Every time we spend is a day out of the classroom that you don't learn to read. There's true research that says low reading adds to discipline and, in the future, criminal actions. So we really got to look at that reading. And majority of the special needs students that were suspended are low readers. So then you have to look at, if you are a low reader in a class, it is much easier to escape than be embarrassed. So it's a vicious cycle, but I truly recommend everyone becomes a reading teacher, because you're not going to raise the achievement if a lot of kids are suspended. Just my 2 cents. I've talked to Ben about this. But thank you.
No, thank
Any
you
other
so much.
questions?
All right, we appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Next, we have a presentation from Ms. Karina Coleman, the strategic partnership presentation.
It's hot. Good evening. Good evening. My name is Karina Coleman, and I am the partnerships coordinator here at Romulus Community Schools. I've been with you all for 2 years now and look forward to continuing with you. So today's presentation, I'm going to give you an overview, like an end-of-year report, so you can see what I've been working on. We'll talk about some of the challenges that arose and what we've learned, and then I have some recommendations for next school year. So one of the first achievements that I want to highlight is the Inspire and Ignite Speaker Series. I'm really proud that we were able to launch this program this school year. We brought in 5 different speakers from October to February into the high school. You can see the little plaque over to the right that I give each speaker. We had lots of good feedback from students. And this was something that was a part of the RCS reorganization and vision plan for 2023 to 2025. So it was one of those initiatives that I had been working on for a while, so I'm really proud that it launched. The partnerships that were formed here have been pretty lucrative. One of the speakers, Dr. Sabrina Collins, has moved forward since her first speech with our students to organize a GM trip to the Romulus plant for our students, and Ms. Strong, our counselor, went on that. And she's also been in conversation with our technology department about donating a 3D printer that we might be able to get at the beginning of next school year. So those are some examples of how the speaker series has been high engagement. The other things that I would say would be great achievements are the fact that I've been with the district for 2 years now. There is a strong amount of community trust when we have tabling and community events. We have a large group of folks who tend to come out. They know who I am, and they respond to our messages positively. We have a new partnership with the Detroit Zoo. There was a student who wanted to intern at the Detroit Zoo because he is interested in a career in biology. And he just was on me all year long, like, I want to intern at the zoo. But I gave them a phone call, and they were like, sure, send 2 students. And so that's just another example about how Romulus High School has a very good reputation in the community. We also have a partnership with Delta, where our students got to job shadow and then field trips to the Wayne County Airport Authority. It's 2 different sides of the same airport tour. And lastly, ensuring that our processes are done with excellence is something that's very important. It helps with the student engagement and our partner engagement. I sent you all a packet that had additional data, and so you can see some of the charts and graphs and the additional data that I sent just to the Board of Education. This is a photo from the students in the Eagle Internship Program when we went to the Detroit Metro Airport. So this was more like a career trip where I take them and we split up and I'm with them while they're job shadowing. The locations that you see listed are work sites that the students went to by themselves, either in the fall or the spring, based on their career interests. We also launched the Romulus High School Pretty Brown Girls Club. A few months ago, we had a student, Jayla Gillette, who came and spoke with you all about her passion about bringing a girls' empowerment group to the high school and what the need was. And so we partnered with Pretty Brown Girls, a local nonprofit organization, and it was just a really fun and engaging experience. The picture at the bottom, you can see we're doing a workshop on natural hair care with a local natural hair care company. They make hair care supplies, and they have a hair care salon, and they came in and did a workshop. And then on the top, you'll see some photos from the Buddy Buddy photo shoot that we did, and you'll see those throughout the presentation. So that program also launched. It was 15 weeks at the high school, and it was fun. Now I want to talk to you about some of the things that we learned this school year. There were certainly challenges, and challenges are a great opportunity for us to reinvent and revamp our programs. With the speaker series, like I said, we had a lot of positive feedback from everyone that I reached out to. When I reached out to speakers, they were like, sure, I'll come speak with your students. The biggest issue was scheduling at the high school due to testing, due to the other field trips that are going on, and then just staff wanting to protect instructional time. So when we revamp the speaker series, I would like to be more intentional about the scheduling with the leadership at the high school and the staff. For the Pretty Brown Girls Club, there was very low attendance. This is an issue that we see across program. We had slots for 20 students. We had 15 students sign up, but on average, about 5 students would show up. And when I would talk to them, they had work obligations, they had family obligations, like someone in their family might be sick. And they just wanted to leave school at the end of the day some weeks. So I was kind of pulling teeth to get them to stay after school. I would send them emails. We had the Remind app. I would put reminders on the PA. So one of the thoughts that I have is trying to figure out how we can transition to some type of school day advisory hour meeting during the school day, even if it's during lunchtime, so that the students don't have to feel like they're choosing between maybe a job and this experience. And the last challenge that I want to bring up was another low engagement situation with the students in the internship program. A lot of the students need a lot of soft skills support. The students that are in the Eagle internship program are in a English class where they intertwine soft skills in there, and it works out nicely. But on that Friday when you're expecting students to show up, it's just like, what do we talk about all week? So I want to revamp that program by switching to more job shadowing experiences and career exposure trips, where I can be there with them and kind of support them in the soft skill development that they need. Also aligning the partnerships efforts with our career and technical education departments is another solution. Instead of sending students to Corewell Health this spring, I worked with our health occupations teacher and connected her with Corewell Health so that her students could go, because she has a more targeted program for what these students would need to be in a hospital setting.
I just had an idea.
Go ahead.
On that one with the internship program, because Ms. Camilleri and I, we interviewed probably 18 students, maybe 17. No, it was about 15. We did 15 students for summer jobs. We do this every year. To my knowledge, I don't know of any other school district that does this, but we do. And she and I can both say that our students, and these were students that are arguably good students, confidence is just terrible. Self-confidence, and I was talking to them about extracting. You've got to extract what you have. Everything that's inside of here has to come out because you're interviewing. And they don't get the concept. And I said to them, it's okay to make mistakes with me. It's okay, because my job is to prepare you when you leave here that you can go and whip everybody. But maybe that's something that you work with certain students, because we allow them, if they're 16 years old, they can work with us. But maybe you all work with them, and then we'll work with them on the tail end. So they have the experience with you, and then they can have the experience with us. But that's what we noticed. It was just as clear as day.
Yes.
Our brightest students they were not able to express themselves and have the confidence level to say, oh, I'm good, or be able to talk about what you do that you do well. So that might be something, but everything that I see on there is not a shocker. When we did the self-defense for girls, I mean, you offer all these things, can't do it. No commitment, okay? It's just not a commitment. It's not just that. It's just no commitment. In, out, in, out. So even today when I'm talking to all the students, I tell the teachers, stop enabling. We have some enabling that goes on in this district. We have some serious enabling that has to stop. So that when we do these programs, it's all right for students to fail. It's valuable when you fail something. It can be very valuable. But we need to teach them, and they're not being taught these things. These soft skills, they're not. Please, thank you, yes, no, yeah. I mean, all the stuff it's not consistent in our classrooms. It's not consistent with our staff members. I am very consistent about speaking proper English, very consistent. I will check students because I think it's important. Because when you're being interviewed by me, if you break a verb or that's an automatic disqualifier right there. So I appreciate that, but I'm saying everything that's on there is a school district problem. And it has to be addressed. We can't expect you to just be able to change it. It has to be things that we do in our programming, because we have a lot of teachers, as you said, protect classroom instruction.
Oh, yeah, protecting instructional
Yeah, well,
time.
Let me go into the classroom instruction. I mean, sometimes I'll tell you, that's what we're protecting? I mean, serious talk. That's what we're protecting? No. Certain things, there are certain things that are valuable beyond what you're teaching in your classroom, such as soft skills is important, such as having a Ignite and Inspire series where they get to see people that look like them who are doing good work and who can tell you that if I can do it, you can do it. So we had a little bit of that tussle, and I wasn't a part of that, but I said next time, I'm going to make sure that this gets done the way that I want it to be done. Bless you.
Okay. So let's get to some recommendations. These recommendations are designed to be aligned with the RCS strategic plan that the Board of Education released on April 7th of this year. And so I think the fifth goal was to conduct 10 community engagement sessions in the 2025-26 school year. So right here, I have drafted 10 ideas or 10 recommendations for what I think the community engagement sessions should be. To gain and to really harness the staff buy-in, I think we should focus on programs that other staff members are already leading and leading well. For instance, the Eagle's Nest, which is our restaurant, they're gonna have a grand opening, but they put out amazing food weekly, and so that's something that the community could be a part of. March's Reading Month celebrations are something that are happening throughout the district. The media specialists do a beautiful job, and we can bring the community in. Same thing with blood drives. Our health occupations instructor did a lot of blood drives this past school year, and that's something that the community could be a part of. In addition to that, we want to celebrate some of the things that we are doing that are unique. There was never a launch for the esports program. We always have a Romulus Community Schools address or State of the Schools address. We talked about number 7 here, doing a college and career fair with interviewing and soft skills training. We had a really successful career fair this school year. There were about 37 different vendors there, but I do think that adding workshops so students know exactly what to say when they walk up to the vendors and what might be appropriate for their grade level. Brat's Barbecue and Back to School, we will have a huge community showing there. So I think I've hit on almost everything, and expanding the speaker series to be at the middle school and the high school. So these are subject to change, but these are what I would be defining the 10 community engagement sessions as. And this is my last slide for recommendations, but this is Dr. Sabrina Collins that I was telling you about. She's a chemistry professor at Eastern Michigan University. So my other recommendations are to launch a broad student interest survey at the beginning of the school year. I've done a lot of different types of surveys, and I think going through the English language arts classes have been the most successful, but this would allow me to have very specific ideas on what the students want to see, centering their voice. Continuing with our signature programs like the speaker series at the middle school and the high school, the career day. I still want to establish a girls empowerment group, but I would want to work with the high school leadership to see if there is a potential different time slot that it could fit better. If not, doing heavy recruitment at the beginning of the school year, I think should have a better impact as well, because if you all remember, we kind of started it in the winter of this year, and just being able to start off in the fall, advertising the club is something that I think would be important. And then lastly, evolving the internship program to make sure that our students are getting the support that they need around soft skills, around being able to show up and be responsible, because we don't have that fully established yet. So we want to do more workshops and then more situations where I would be just traveling with them on a trip to say, let's do this together and let me show you like how a professional meeting might go. So those are my recommendations, and it's been a pleasure serving as the partnerships coordinator. The students here are wonderful. The staff are pretty great too. And I welcome any questions that you all have.
Right. Okay, so you've got the pretty brown girls, and you're working on the girls empowerment
So
group.
they're the same thing.
Okay. I was going to ask, is there anything in place for the boys?
No,
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just here for the girls, but we could talk about the boys. But there's nothing in the works for the boys right now, not that I know of. Correct. Not that I know of, yeah. Any other?
Madam President, so I just want to make it clear so we understand. So when you were hired for the position, it was specifically for the girls, and that is why, as I recall back then, that's why there wasn't anything under your umbrella for the males. And so I just wanted to make sure we had clarification. Was that true, or is that
Well,
true?
when I was hired, it was not really a first-year initiative. I've been here with the district for 2 years. That first year, it was really focused on internships, career exposure, those initiatives. And then that second year, there was a need at the high school for support around the girls. And then there was a really specific request from a young lady, Jayla, who is a 12th grader. She wrote a very beautiful letter to Dr. Edmondson about wanting to start a girls empowerment group. So it kind of happened organically. I was already meeting with him. He showed me the letter, and I said, oh, I know about this organization, this nonprofit called Pretty Brown Girls. They might be a good fit. And of course, it was then on my plate, but I welcome it. It was a really fun experience. It was the highlight of my week, really just getting able to hang out with the girls. But yeah, the reason that it is on my plate is because there was a need, and they were like, here, girl. It just kind of fit. Yes.
Okay, thank you for that
No problem.
Any other questions from the board? Thank you, Mrs. Coleman.
All right, thank you.
Be it resolved that the Board of Education approves the June 23rd, 2025 consent agenda as presented. Matters listed under the consent agenda are considered routine in nature by the Board of Education and will be acted upon by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items. If any member of the board or any citizen requests discussion of an item, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will become the first item of business under the report of the superintendent's portion. A, approval of the minutes for the Board of Education, June 9th, 2025, regular board meeting. B, approval of the personnel actions as submitted by Human Resources Director Kevin Brock. Employment of Johanna Lepitz, special education social worker. Jamie Davis, special education resource teacher. Maggie Rope, special education social worker at RHS. Maria Kelly, special education social worker district-wide.
Support.
And motion by Rogers, supported by Kennard. Any discussion? Roll call.
Rogers, yes. Kennard.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Kamal.
Yes.
Laster.
Yes,
Motion is approved.
thank you. And we are now at the report of the superintendent.
Thank you. Just want to update you on a few things. We're having a leadership summit for students. I call it Next Gen Leadership Summit. It will be July 22nd and 23rd. No, I think July 21st and 22nd and the 23rd. It's one of those, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday morning. It will be from 4 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, whatever that is. I don't know if that's the 21st or 20th. On Wednesday, it'll be the same thing. And Thursday morning will be a breakfast from 8 to 10. What I have done is I'm identifying leaders, student leaders, okay? Student leaders, students who have the potential as well, that have leadership potential. I'm inviting them into this summit. It's going to be fun. I have people who are committing already. I sent it out. We're going to have sessions for kids. We're going to rotate them, going to have a good time, and they're going to be embraced in, not embraced, immersed in a leadership summit where people that are older, a few that are younger, are going to give some aspects of leadership. Because I'm trying to change the culture and climate, as I've always tried to do. I'm trying to change the culture and climate. This is straight off of the interviews that we had. I said, we have to do something different, and I need to do something different. I've been at the middle school. I've been at the high school to see what we need. We have leaders, they just don't know how. Okay, when you have the ability and you don't know how, then it's the adult's job to make that happen. You can feel free to come by and visit. We'd love to see you during those sessions. I've had some commitments from some of the people already, and I'm very excited about what that's going to do for our high school in particular. Then at some point, we'll go down and try it at the middle school, so that's coming. With that, we had a wonderful principal interview process. I want to thank Mr. Brock, and Mr. Brock allowed me to participate in that as well. We did a principal for the high school. We allowed students, 3 student representatives, to be a part from start to finish. They had a great time. They'll tell you they had a great time. They interviewed 6 or 7 candidates, came down to 3 with us, got down to 3. We interviewed those 3 again. Each one of those candidates then went to the high school and walked with students through that entire school, talking about what they were going to do. And students then, after that was finished, they walked into the media center. The students brought them into the media center where there were more students waiting for them. And it was a free-flowing conversation for all 3 candidates. Then I came in and I asked the students what they thought. And it mirrored what I thought, so I thought that was great. I didn't say anything. It mirrored exactly the synergy in that room from the students, to see other students that wanted the same thing, and to see principals that were excited, or people that they were prospective principals that wanted the job. It was a wonderful experience. They narrowed it down to 1.5, and I narrowed it down to 1. Then we took 7 other students, 6 students, and we went out to eat with that candidate, the one candidate. It was just, I couldn't be more proud. I could not be more proud of our students. Those 6 students had not engaged with him, so I wanted new students to see him. Came back, then more students were waiting for him again. And we walked around the school. He met with the students that were in the weight room. He just has presence, and that's what presence, I had to explain to kids, is not about your visibility. Plenty of people are visible, but they don't have any presence. We want people with presence, who when they come in, you feel their energy, and then that energy gets your energy, and it becomes synergy, and they know how to engage with students. So I'm very excited that June 30th, we will present the name of that candidate to you, who he has already accepted. We didn't even talk about money. He was so excited, and I mean that. So excited. You're going to meet him. Great energy level. Don't want to announce it yet. Students are excited. I'm excited. He helped me put this. I was taking a train back from Chicago on Saturday morning. He and I knocked out this leadership summit together, and it was probably an hour, actually. But we just knocked it out together. We were ready. He's excited. I'm excited about this leadership summit. It's going to be powerful for kids. A couple of other things. Janelle was nice enough to relinquish the reins of the director of TLP to me. Thank you. I'm being facetious.
She said no, thank you.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to do that for the time being. It's posted now, so I'm going to just do the best that I can there to try to keep us steady until we can get somebody for that position. Already, the Birdies for Eagles, $35,000 in donations so far. It's not even July.
Awesome.
So I'm thrilled. I'm just thrilled about that for students. I'm not thrilled it has nothing to do with me. I'm just thrilled about students and that we'll be able to use that money, utilize that money for our elementary programming, and they don't have to ask us for money. They still will, but they have money. Each one of them will have money to be able to do the things that they need to do as a principal. Bond updates, can't really say too much except right now, it should be now, the city council had asked us, gave us an opportunity to come back and talk. Judy, you were there, and I think who else was there? Darcy, were you there? Darcy, you were there, and were you there? Okay, so I'm old. But the reality is that they asked us to come back for a special meeting because they said the law won't allow them, because we're 60 days from the election, the law won't allow them to videotape. So they had to do a special meeting today, 6 o'clock. Same time we have a meeting. So we have some people that are over there. Dana Blair is over there, as well as the PFM advisor, which is Brody Killian, explaining every question that they had. So we have a response. I don't have to be there. They asked for, and you got it. So that's what we're doing right now. I already talked about, we hired 22 students working for our summer school. We have about 3 or 4 now that are still interested, and we had another outside organization, just like last year, that wants to pay our students to work for them. But it's amazing, and we'll talk about that. Janelle might talk about this for a second, that we're going to go to video announcements. Kids don't open up their email. That's our responsibility to get them in the habit of opening up their email every day. You want it to happen, it starts at the school level, not at the superintendent level. It starts at the school level, that you have got to make opening up your email important. So now we have some students, I didn't get the email. Yes, you did. You didn't open up the email. That's the problem. So at the middle school, we'll be moving to videos, and that'll be a little bit different. But at the high school, I'm so glad we have 22 students working with us that are here to support our technology department, our maintenance department, our custodial department, as well as our summer school or instruction department. So I'm very excited about that, to be able to. And the last thing for me is a question that people ask me, not in the district, but outside. What do you do over the summer? What does the superintendent do? Just a few things for me, for you to know, so that you can go and tell people what I'm doing. Planning for the 2025-2026 school year. I don't think about 2024-25 anymore. That's over, except for my evaluation. You'll be able to evaluate me on those things. I'll be glad to talk to you about that. But planning for 2025-2026. Evaluation completion, I have to do, my cabinet will be finished, should be finished this week. I have one more that I have not done, and that's the one that I have to get done. So an evaluation completion of all of my cabinet members. reviewing the year and adjusting. I think about things. I met with Ms. Coleman there to talk about things that we have done, talked about that with cabinet members, things that we've done, some that are not, didn't yield the results that we wanted to, so you make the adjustment, or you just say, just can't do that anymore. Hiring students for support, that's part of my summer job, is that I hire students and I also fire students. It is what it is. Okay, today I met for summer school with all the kids, and I told them what we expect, and I said 10 of you might get kicked out. It's just how it is. That's usually how it works, that somebody wants to do whatever they want to do, and that's not going to work. And I try to tell kids that everything we do here, you're practicing to be that kind of adult. So when the school tells you to do something, you need to do it, okay? Because you may have a boss that's going to do the same thing, so it's another thing. Try to move the vision forward. Whatever the vision is that I have for our school district, I think of things that we can do for next year, or to revise the Ignite and Speaker Series. If there's any obstacles, I think of things that we can do to make sure that those obstacles get out of the way so that students can be successful. And one of the main things I do is I create. I'm just creative, okay? It just is. There's no brag. I create things. So I think about things that we can create that are going to get kids excited about coming to school. We've got to change the narrative, okay? And I heard it loud and clear, what kids want, okay? When I met with most of them at the high school, they're consistent on what is needed. And I'm gonna make sure that we do that, including when you walk in, you've got to feel the energy. If you've been in the high school, you see the pictures, okay? The pictures that has done a lot for kids. It's done a lot. So next year, you don't keep the same ones, you do different ones. So I'm also meeting with all of the class advisors, the students, over the summer to talk about how we can move the school forward. It can't just be the staff. Also, students said, loud and clear, some teachers destroy their spirit. That's a killer. And I said, I need to find out who, so you can address it. Okay, you can address that. We need you to be on the side of the students, okay? You're killing some of the things that we're trying to do. We need to have more trips and things like that, so I work with our department to talk about what we can do to make sure that we get our students in the right direction. And the last thing for me, it's kind of aligns as addressing and challenging issues. I'm not afraid to address, you've heard me say it consistently, I'm not afraid to address issues with adults. It's my job to address the things with adults. Can't sweep things underneath the rug. You address them, particularly when you see them over and over and over and over, and what they're doing to your community and what you're doing to the school. So those are just some of the things that I do over the summer. There's a little bit of golf too, a little bit of golf. When I'm asked, I usually go for free, just so that you know somebody's inviting me for free, and I play, and I'm going to promote our district. Every time I do it, I'm promoting our district. And then, of course, not Bratz Barbecue, that's later, but Birdies for Eagles, that's something that's important to me. So just wanted to give you an idea. Again, I still say it, I love working here. Have a great time. I'm not thinking about retirement until 2 years from now. 2 to 6, that's it, then I'm done, wraps. So we'll see how that goes. And I'm not jealous. I'm thankful that people have the opportunity to retire when they want to. Okay, it's just that simple. That nobody's forcing you. You want to, you do it. I'm glad that we're able to do that, and people can make the decisions that's best for their families too. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Edmondson. We are now at the report of the Director of Human Resources. He has an action item and a recommendation. Can someone read the action item?
Recommended motion, move that the Board of Education approve the 3-year School Resource Officer Program as a cooperative effort between the City of Romulus and the Romulus Community Schools from July 1st, 2025 and ending June 30th, 2028. Rationale, the School Resource Officer is a vital partnership that enhances the safety, well-being, and overall climate of our school community. This continued collaboration with local law enforcement supports both our educational mission and our responsibility to maintain a secure and supportive learning environment. And implications, I'll read those numbers. What budget? Support.
It's been motioned by Rogers, supported by Kennard. Any discussion?
Yes, I'd just like to say this to the board, that just today, one of our students found themselves in trouble at Liberty Fest. Where's Liberty Fest? Right by my house in Canton. Got himself in trouble. So the public safety, I'll call it public safety, sent me something about this student. So I called the officer and I said, you got to be kidding me. So I sent it to Officer Cofield, who is going to write something to that student to, you cannot be on our property, period. But I'm glad that if we didn't have that, where am I going? Where am I going? So it was really nice to be able to call him. Once I saw what it was, I sent it to him, and he told me what he could do, and I said, I think that's the best choice. So I fully support our SRO program and officer at this point.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Rogers is yes. Kennard,
Yes.
Kamal,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Laster.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Thank you.
The next motion, Board Personnel Recommendation, approval of Kelly Schulte as the Administrative Assistant to Technology is the recommended motion. The rationale is as the demands of the Technology Department continue to grow, driven by increased resilience to digital tools, cybersecurity requirements, state reporting mandates, and daily technical support needs, it has become clear that the department requires additional administrative support to operate efficiently and maintain high-quality service. An administrative assistant would take on essential clerical and logistical tasks currently managed by technical staff, including scheduling, inventory tracking, purchasing coordination, and vendor communication. Additionally, this role would support key operational needs such as maintaining user accounts, updating website content, and managing digital signatures to ensure timely, accurate communication throughout the district. By shifting these responsibilities to the dedicated support role, our technical staff can focus on core responsibilities such as infrastructure maintenance, project implementation, and end-user support. This addition will improve overall efficiency, response times, and communication while supporting compliance with documentation and procurement procedures. It is a strategic investment in the sustainability, responsiveness, and professionalism of our district's technology services. There are public budget implications as listed in our motion, and the exhibits as part of the board packet.
Support. Everybody just sitting there.
And motion. Ooh. Motion. Dang. Motion by Kennard, supported by Rogers. Any discussion? Roll call.
Kennard,
Yes.
Rogers is yes. Davis,
Yes.
Kamal,
Yes.
Laster.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Thank you. We are now,
Thank you.
Thank you, Board. If you have had the pleasure of visiting Romulus Elementary in the last 4 years, guaranteed you had ran across Kelly Schulte. She's always smiling, always busy, constantly doing things. I guarantee, I'm confident she's going to bring so much to this department. She's already putting away chairs as retirees walk out of the board meeting. So
Oh, okay.
thankful to have her. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. Next,
thank you. Congratulations.
next item.
Yeah, we're at the,
Okay, next item for motion for the board is the middle school Smart Lab Studios for 6th, 7th, and 8th grades. Recommended motion, move that the Board of Education approve the Smart Lab Studio Curriculum Support Agreement for Romulus Middle School. The rationale, the Smart Lab Studios are fully integrated, professional-graded video production studios that are paired with furniture and assessments to work together to support hands-on, minds-on learning. Budget implications is at risk. We have the budget number, and we have 31A. The budget number is indicated, and the exhibit is the estimate in our board packet.
Support.
oh.
Oh,
Motion by Kennard, supported by Davis. Any discussion? Roll call.
Kennard,
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Laster,
Yes.
Kamal,
Yes.
Rogers is yes. Motion is approved.
Thank you. We are now at the action item for the SETSEG participation agreement. under the report of the Director of Finance, Ms. Dana Blair. Someone read that for me.
Madam President, move that the Board of Education approve SETSEG participation agreement. Rationale, the approval to change the district's liability and comprehensive insurance provider to the School Employers Trust School Employers Group, SETSEG. SETSEG offers a specialized, cost-effective, and highly responsive insurance solution tailored to the unique needs of Michigan K-12 school districts. Budget implications, property and casualty insurance, bus insurance, all functions that have a salary expense, exhibit participation agreement.
Support.
Been motion by Davis, supported by Kennard. Any discussion? Roll call.
Davis.
Yes.
Kennard.
Yes.
Rogers is yes. Kamal.
Yes.
And Laster.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Thank you so much. We are now at the Food Service Management Company Contract Renewal 25-037. You got it.
Go ahead.
Madam President, move that the Board of Education approve Food Service Management Company contract renewal for July 1, 2025, and ending June 30th, 2026. Rationale, Compass Group Chartwells has demonstrated the capacity to enhance school nutrition services, increase operational efficiency, and improve student satisfaction. After careful review and consideration, Chartwells has proven to be a reputable provider with a strong track record of success in K-12 settings across Michigan. Budget implications accounts for contract services cafe, food service, paper, and cafeteria other supplies. Exhibit contract renewal.
And motion by Davis, supported by Kennard. Any discussion? Roll call.
Davis.
Yes.
Kennard.
Yes.
Kamal.
Yes.
Rogers is yes. Laster.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Thank you. We are now at the report of board subcommittees.
Finance Subcommittee will be meeting before the budget, the meeting on the 30th. We haven't yet decided on that date, but when we do, we'll let the board and those interested individuals know when that is going to happen. The sinking fund met briefly today, went over some of issues related to the surplus on the sinking fund balance that we talked about at our last meeting. I think the overall was $175K, which there will be a surplus about $91,000, and the list is going to be generated and come before the board at the next meeting, I believe. Correct, Jason? Oh, yeah, it's not going to come before it's
Not
just for
coming before the board
informational
because it's
purposes.
below
not
the
for
bid
right,
threshold, so it's
right.
more of just a FYI or
FYI.
update. I'd be happy to answer any questions if anyone has any.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Kennard.
You're welcome, thank you. That's it.
All right. Any other reports? All right. Report of me. I want to give blessings and well wishes to the retirees. Thank you for your service and everything. It was definitely hard to, new beginnings are good. So, I'm excited, but it is going to be a loss and a dent. But thank you for everything that you poured into the district. I know I'm looking right at you, Ms. Edwards, but yes, to all the retirees, thank you. We had a moment. We locked eyes. Thank you. And I wanted to note that Mr. Jalisco, his name will be reflected as correct in the minutes, so that I'm real big about people's name being spelled right, so that will be right in the minutes, and thank you for his service. I really don't have much to say, except I will be passing out the superintendent evaluation, so this is where you can mark what you think about Dr. Edmondson and his work, and we will be doing the superintendent evaluation on the 30th after the budget meeting, so hopefully he brings chicken with a little Pepsi. I didn't say watermelon, so I just said chicken, and I haven't mentioned chicken in a long time, so it's been about a year. So yes, hopefully we have food, chicken, for the evaluation, so come with your patients, and everyone is welcome. And that's all I have. Thank you all for coming out, too. Appreciate you, especially in the heat. I'm going to figure that out. So Trustee Kamal, any closing words? Trustee Kennard?
I would just like to add to it, congratulations to all the staff who retired. Your contribution to the Romulus Community School District is very appreciated, and in all that you've done. To the superintendent, You don't have to answer it now, but it's something. I'm just curious, when you mentioned that, when you had your conversation with the students, that they expressed that some of the teachers, administrators, instructional staff killed their spirit. Did they share with you what actually kills their spirit? And if, whatever that is that kills their spirit, are there any plans, you know, as you begin to sit down and develop things, of how that's going to be assessed? Is it going to be part of, the, you know, evaluation, or just conversations, or you may have some plans later on that you might want to share? But I was just curious to know, what are those things does it mandate where you may have to look at how some evaluations or conversations or dialogue or round tables and so on and et cetera?
Well, yeah, there's not going to be any round table. There's going to be direct
okay.
conversation.
Okay.
Because I think people need to know that. It's something that I say here is when you walk into a school, everybody knows who the bad teacher is, except the bad teacher, because nobody says anything. So when you're killing people's spirit like that and it's consistent, they need to know it. You need to have a conversation. I just had a conversation with somebody today about being messy. I just had the conversation that they just need to know. There were plenty of us that was in there. I believe many of us were in that room to hear the students say it, that when they have, what do you call those, spirit weeks, how teachers will not participate, won't let them, and say, no, you're not going to do that in here, or that's stupid, that makes no sense, we need to be. Just little comments like that just kill you. Also, when you have people that won't even let you try something. And I tell students to dream big, okay? You want to go to Minnesota? Let's go to Minnesota. Or let's go somewhere, instead of always saying we can only go right up the street. People just kill your spirit. Why don't we dream big for kids? Why not? I said, let's go to Chicago. Let's take a train. How many of you have ever been on a train? You ask kids that. They haven't. So why can't we do that? Before you say no, and this is what somebody says to me all the time, before you say no, it should be yes and, okay? Not but yes and. Okay, yeah, we can do that, and this needs to happen. Football field, when the kids wanted to go to, they wanted to graduate on a football field, the first response is no. Everything is no. Why isn't it yes? Why can't it be yes? Yes and. Okay, and that's what we did with the football field when they wanted to graduate. The first one was no, the ceremony. He met with me, I said yes. And 90% of your parents are going to have to sit down with me and us so that we can discuss it. If we don't get that 90%, then the answer will be no. But the answer is yes, and your parents will support us. So it's not just us giving everything. You have to have people be accountable and have some skin in the game. So I feel good that students feel, I'm not going to say all of them, many students feel comfortable sending me emails and telling me openly and honestly because they know I'm going to say something and I'm going to do something. And I think staff, as I said today to staff, when I'm going over things for the summer school, I said, we're not holding kids accountable, just kids. That makes no sense. I said, so if I come in your room and a student has his head down, that's not a conversation just with the student. It's a conversation with the staff member to say, now, how do you not see that? So I just think, the things that I heard, I didn't hear specific names. It was not time. And that venue was not time for the specifics. But you best believe, Trustee Kennard, that I'm going to get the names because it's only fair to kids. It's only fair to kids. And necessarily, it shouldn't be me. We have a new principal. I have the conversation. He can sit down with me and the students, and let's listen. When I said I'm having all of the student leaders, we're going to have those conversations. What does it look like when somebody kills your spirit? Let's have a conversation about that, what that looks like. Just because somebody says no doesn't mean that they killed your spirit. So we need to have like a session on that. What does that look like? How do you respond when the majority of you say that this person has killed our spirit? So it will be addressed. It was troubling, but I'm thankful that kids can say it. So I'm like, yes.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Madam Secretary?
Just want to thank everybody for coming out and try and stay cool. Anybody got a pool? We can all just go sit in.
Vice President Davis?
Only thing I'll say, make sure you're registered to vote and go vote on August 5th.
Before you go, Dr. Edmondson, I know everybody has the draft copy of the meeting schedule for the remainder of this year and next year. I know there was talk about the 2 meetings in July. So are you guys okay with striking the 28th and just making the motion to approve it without that? Okay, so I'll make the motion to. Okay, so it'll just, we'll approve, okay. Rewind. Dr. Edmondson.
Yeah, that's what that was. No, thanks. Great day. Appreciate everybody being here very much so. It's the summertime. That's all. It's summertime. Hopefully we can avoid some of the pitfalls and just have a good summer. I know you need to go on out. I need your support. We need your support as board members to talk about the bond. As I said to the mayor, one Romulus means if it's one Romulus, then we should all be saying we support our schools, right? If it's one Romulus, we're supporting our schools. So we need to get out there and support the schools. You need to get out there and remember, we are the ones that can say yes. We can tell people to vote yes, okay? Can't use your emails to do it unless it's your personal email. But you've got to be out there and tell people, yes, what are you getting? What are you getting from it? Okay, just to build a new building, it costs over $100 million for one building. So for $153 million, and all we're doing is trying to upgrade and keep this district going for the next 30 years. Okay, if there's no district, I don't know what to tell you. We don't have to worry about property value now, do you? You won't have to. So we're doing the right things. We're doing the right things by the district. I thank you for your support. If you can get out there and get on your Facebook pages and whatever it is, we do want people to support the bond, period. So thank you so much and enjoy yourself. There's no such thing as staying cool. It's not going to happen. The next week is not going to happen. So you can forget that one.
It is 7:26. The goal was an hour and a half in my mind. Make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
Everybody in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any nays? All right. Thank you.
Ms. Schulte, I need you to come and sign your contract, please.